I think I found the source of my rattle. It's actually the strut itself is failing. That puddle right there is oil dripping from the strut. You can see it right there. Alright, so the plan is to separate it here. That way all of this and this up here will stay with the strut, because that's actually keeping it compressed, and then I can just unbolt this big aluminum piece from the body and then unbolt the bottom of the strut from the bottom of the bottom A arm, and hopefully we can get out of there. I'm kind of thinking maybe you might have to disconnect the sway bar strut to let this drop more. We'll have to see about that. Just get another jack in here, jack it back up maybe, but I want to start with this. That's what I thought. That just may not work. It just wants to spin. Okay, so let's get a 18 millimeter. It looks like that might have a hex socket. Ugh, my holder is so far gone. 5 millimeter, possibly. It looks like there is some weight pulling it down. Just trying to separate it, so I'm going to go ahead and get the jack underneath the A-arm there and take some pressure off of it, because I don't want it to just slam apart. Alright, so I got a little jack underneath of it. Looks like the pressure is mostly off of that. And we can let this down, see how far it goes down. Cool. And that's already it. I'm guessing, like I said, the sway bar strut is keeping it up more. But I don't actually know if I need any more until I start unbolting up there and maybe down here. Probably I need to start up top first, because if I take the big nut out of the bottom of the A-arm, it might spring down still. Yeah. So I'm going to start back up top again. So it looks like I've got 2, 4, and 5. One hidden way down in there. 18 millimeter. Well, it didn't move, so I'm guessing there's still upward force on it, to be expected. Alright, so I let the jack on the A-arm down, and it looks like we are free up there. So that's good. So it looks like, hopefully, all I got to do is remove either this or this. I'm actually thinking it actually may not matter. That just looks like a clamp bolt. That'd be a lot easier to undo, so I'm going to start with that one. I don't know if that's, I think yet another 18. It is. Now, I'm actually going to assume that's not threaded bolt or threaded clamp on that side, so I could just tap on it. Maybe that'll release it. Maybe not. It wasn't threaded, but like I thought. It doesn't look like it's warped. And just frozen up in there. That might actually get me hoping that would be enough to lift it out of there. But it doesn't look like it's giving up too much just yet. Let's see if I can settle chisel, a big chisel in there. Actually, that felt pretty loose, but I don't have nearly that much space to get it out of there, so I need to get this big one off. 24 millimeter. Let's see. Yeah, that wire couldn't be more in the way. Let's see. Well, I do have a connector over here. I can unplug it. I guess I just need to try out those trees. Oh, they're just zip tie type trees. So kind of. So obviously the first thing that's going to happen here is we got to soak this nut down. That stud's not looking so good. I'll leave that sit for a while. And meanwhile, I'll see if I can get this off of here. Well, that was way more difficult than it should have been. Alright, so that part's off. There's my new strut, KYB gas adjust. And I am not going to do this myself. I'm not going to try to do it with spring compressors or nothing. I'm just going to take it to my local garage and hopefully they can change it over for cheap. Alright, so it's back from the shop and $40. Wasn't very impressed with the price. They said they had trouble getting the nut off, which I started it, you know, but it was rusty. But I'm like, burn it off, cut it off, you know what I mean? It's not like it was going to be reused. Whatever. So, get this back on there. You know, it looks like where that depression is all the way around has just gummed up with rust in here. And that's actually what's keeping it from going straight on real easy. Although it actually doesn't look like it was machined all the way from top to bottom, and that's why. But I don't have time to mess with it. I'm just going to beat it on. That's good. So I'm trying to remember, it was this way, right? And I don't need to tighten that yet. Leave that loose. I think I'm ready to go back in. And that was easy so far. And I have an 18mm wrench, so I'll try to go at the other side with 15. Get this tightened down. And yes, I am lined up top. So really all I need to do is jack it up a little bit like that. Let's see. Get my wire back over here. Well, I thought those were zip tie Christmas trees, but they're not. One zip tie there ought to be plenty. Alrighty. I'm going to have to do this one by hand again. Now let's get the top bolts. Well, I'm gonna call that job done, and actually not that hard to do. I love it. On this car, there is no need for an alignment afterwards. That's excellent. Another $60 saved. Wasn't too happy about the $40 to change the spring over, but that's kind of my fault. I didn't ask before I dropped it off. I just assumed it was going to be a little lower than that, you know. 25 bucks seems plenty for that job, but whatever. I got it done and I didn't get hurt, so this is going to make a huge difference on the car too, because I've been driving it with a bad strut for a while, and I tell you what, even just the smallest pothole at 30, 40 miles an hour, I lose control of this car. It's crazy. So very glad to get it done. Very, very glad. Hope you enjoyed it.